Today I'm doing a mock product strategy interview for you guys. I'm going to be interviewing myself. I'm going to be acting as the interviewer and then the interviewee. Now, product strategy interviews are typically very open-ended. The interview starts with a pretty broad question that you are given about a particular product. That's generally a pretty big product area, and then you're asked a pretty broad question about that product, and you typically have 30 to 40 minutes to arrive at an answer. Now, the answer you arrive at is not as important as working through all the relevant steps and really articulating your logic and your reasoning for how you got to that answer. Now, normally in an interview setting, you would do some introductions and stuff like that. I'm not going to be doing that for this. I'm just going to dive straight into the question. So let's go. Okay, hello, my name is Anika and I'm going to be the interviewer today. I'm going to be interviewing myself. So I've prepared an interview question that I'm going to share with you in a second, and I'll talk about how today's session will work, and then we can pretty much get started. Does that sound good? That all sounds great, thank you. Okay, so the interview question is that you are the CEO of Disney. The company has experimented with NFT drops for several of its collections in mid to late 2021. Most were priced in the $50 to $500 US price range, and they were sold out. What new products do you launch in the NFT space and why? So I provided this question to you on a blank Google Doc. You can use the document however you like to write ideas, to articulate your thinking. You don't have to use the document if you don't want to. You can ask clarifying questions. You can talk through your thinking out loud as much as possible, and that is very much encouraged. I'm just going to ask for a quick minute to collect my thoughts and really digest the question before we get into it. Okay, so I have a few questions. One question is, can you please share with me what the mission of Disney as a company is? Yeah, so Disney's mission is to entertain, inform, and inspire people around the globe through the power of parallel storytelling. I'll paste that goal into the Google Doc so you have it at your disposal. Already by seeing that mission, I think obviously there's an element of entertainment when it comes to NFTs and this new space. But I think the fact that they're trying to inspire people, I think as a company, if they are one of the first enterprises to dive into the NFT space, there's an element of inspiration there, kind of leading the way for that. And it's a really good combination between entertaining and inspiring. So I think generally being in the NFT space aligns well with their mission. I have another question around Disney's goal for being in the NFT space. Can you share with me whether they have a revenue goal, a growth goal, a customer acquisition goal, or anything like that? Yeah, so the goal that Disney have for the NFT space is that they really want to tap into a new market and they want to retain the customers from that new market. And then lastly, can you tell me anything about this NFT collection that they have already dropped? I'm not familiar with it myself, but if there is anything you can tell me around whether it has utility or anything like that, that would be great. Absolutely. So the NFT collection was called Golden Moments. It featured a bunch of rare NFTs with unique attributes, and the catch was that you didn't know what NFT you actually got until you had made your purchase. There was no utility for these NFTs. An example of some of the characters were Marvel Spider-Man, The Simpsons, and Mickey Mouse. The target market was die-hard Disney fans. Now, this was an experiment, so Disney wasn't very specific about who was going to be buying these NFTs, but it ended up being a lot of die-hard fans because this NFT collection was mostly collectibles. If there was anything that didn't go well with this drop, so I understand that it sold out, but was there any customer feedback on things that could be improved or things that they could learn from, given this was an experiment? yeah, the biggest problem the current launch has had, despite being sold out, is that you couldn't buy these NFTs with stable coin currency. So you couldn't buy with Ethereum or Bitcoin. You actually had to convert dollars into a gamified currency that is available on the particular marketplace that these NFTs were sold on. And that was a drawback for a lot of people because you can't easily convert that currency back to a fiat currency or a stable coin. All right, so those are all the clarifying questions I have for now. Okay, so how I plan to spend the rest of our time is, one, kind of laying the overall strategy that Disney may be going for in order to reach the mission that they have with the NFT space. Secondly, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm going to better understand the current collection that they have, really understand the market that bought the current collection, and just overall context setting about where they are at today with the current NFT products. Then I'm going to brainstorm ideas that are going to help us reach the goal that you mentioned around tapping into a new market. I will probably prioritize some of those ideas and share how and why I'm prioritizing them. I'll touch a little bit on, I'll pick one of those ideas and touch a little bit on how I would actually work towards that being implemented. That all sounds really good so far. Next, I want to talk about identifying potential markets that Disney could tap into with a next collection. So just thinking generally about the different market segments that Disney could have, I think one you already mentioned is diehard fans. So I'm going to actually combine diehard fans with those who are interested in NFTs, because we already know that's a market from the existing drop that we have done. Secondly, just for being a bit creative about the different market opportunities, which I am going to prioritize at the end, I'm going to put down a market in terms of a geographic region. So perhaps let's say Australia and New Zealand, because maybe there is a new Disney movie coming out and it's launching in Australia and New Zealand first. So Disney could have different markets in different geographic regions, and there could be ones that they haven't tapped into as much as other countries. And thirdly, I'm thinking about how Disney isn't just about movies, right? It's also about Disneyland and events that they might have in real life. So there's definitely a in real life physical interaction sort of product space that Disney has as a company. So perhaps another market is customers who are interested and attend in real life Disney events. Disneyland as a specific example. Admittedly, I don't know how Disney would segment their markets, but I think for the purpose of this exercise, I'm happy with these three. And now I want to pick one of these markets that we should target for the next launch. And because we saw success with diehard fans in that first collection, I think that is a good opportunity for us to tap into again. But I want to combine diehard fans with those who haven't yet interacted with Disney in real life. Maybe there's an opportunity for us to convert diehard fans into those who actually go and attend Disney World and events that Disney might have in real life. I'm struggling a little bit with this because I'm not really familiar with the Disney market segments. But my logic here is that we have one proven segment, which is diehard fans, and then we have another market that we haven't really tapped into with NFTs. So let's take this experimentation to the next level and see if we have any success there, converting those diehard fans into those who would want to attend in real life Disney theme parks and events. Now, to really understand markets, I would rely on data. So internally, I would work with product marketing team and research teams around the size of each market, the general demographic of each market, and compare the different markets to each other. I think the data around market segment and customer base in each of those markets would really inform the decision for which market to target with the next launch. But obviously, with not having that data available right now, I'm going to just go with the market that I mentioned. So now I'm going to start brainstorming some product ideas. My approach with this is, because it is such a new space, we want to be creative with the ideas that we have. I don't think they're necessarily bad ideas. I think there will be ideas we want to validate, but I'm just going to start dumping down all the ideas that come to mind. So, and then I'll prioritize them. So one of the ideas I have is exploring utility in the NFTs. The current drop was really just collectible digital art. So perhaps there is utility that we can unlock with the next drop. Some of the ideas I have around utility are maybe giving access to people to Disney theme parks, maybe giving them access to, I don't know, a year's worth of movie tickets if they buy a super rare, giving them access to some kind of rare Disney event, perhaps giving them, perhaps they could win a year's supply of movie tickets to see all the upcoming Disney movies for the next 12 months. Random ideas. I think we would have to do some research. I would want to do some research and further thinking on what is a good utility. I'd want to look at how other enterprises are associating their existing products, whether those are physical or digital products, with utility, and maybe how those are going. It doesn't have to be in the entertainment industry. I think Nike and Adidas could be really good examples of that. And I'd want to make sure that we create consistent demand with the NFTs we are releasing. So there was obviously a lot of hype last year around the NFT space, but we want to make sure. Now, one other idea I have relates to the pain point you mentioned that customers had with the process of buying those NFTs. So maybe Disney invests in their own NFT marketplace because there is a clear pain point with the current process of discovering and buying. Either they look into building their own marketplace, or they change to a new marketplace provider. Now, I'm not sure if Disney have games, but another idea I have is offering a game with NFTs being offered within those games. So I would want to do some research on, one, whether Disney currently has games, as I'm not sure about that. And if they do, is there an opportunity to build in NFTs and digital ownership within those existing games, maybe make it like a play to earn game? Or maybe we want to consider developing a game. Maybe it's just a simple game in a mobile app. Yeah, because I think gaming is pretty big right now. But yeah, not sure if Disney would want to get into gaming. Let's see. Okay, so those are all the ideas that I'm going to list for the moment, and now I'm going to prioritize them. So I'm going to prioritize these ideas based on, one, which ones are best aligned with Disney's goal of reaching a new market and retaining that market. So I think some of these lend themselves more nicely to tapping into a new market than others do. And secondly, I'm going to prioritize them based on potential effort and time to market, which is a bit of a guesstimation right now. I can assume that building a new game is going to be much, much higher effort than launching another NFT drop. So based on that, I'm going to put down utility NFTs as the first priority, and the reason being, we have proven that customers want NFTs. We have done a successful drop. There is probably some room for improvement that we could work on with the next drop. but let's kind of build on something that we have already succeeded with. And secondly, I'm going to put down the marketplace. Now, whether that's building a new marketplace or changing provider, I think second priority is really improving the buying and selling experience. That's probably what it is. Improving buying, selling experience. And thirdly, I'm going to put down offering the game with NFTs being offered in those games. So with that being decided, my idea for a new product that Disney could launch in the NFT space is a new NFT drop with utility that gives customers access to Disney theme parks and in real life Disney events. I am going to call out that I would need to do a bit more research to understand how this would really tap into a brand new market for Disney. I think the opportunity here is taking two existing markets, so those who are diehard fans and those who already like attending Disney theme parks and in real life events, and sort of influencing the behavior. So influencing diehard fans to attend in real life events. But it's something that I would need to do a little bit more research and discovery on with the product and research team. But one other reason I think this is a good idea is because essentially the NFT could act as a digital ticket to Disney theme parks. And we know that one of the main utilities of NFTs is around access to events. So not just exclusive access, but just how you use a QR code today. Instead, in the future, you might use a NFT to act as a ticket. So I think Disney could really use this as an experiment to see how NFTs could work in this space. And again, they could become a bit of a leader in this space. And again, I think they could become a bit of a leading enterprise in this space. So to summarize where I'm at now, I think the product that Disney should launch next in the NFT space is a new NFT collection that offers utility for diehard fans who want access to Disney theme parks and in real life Disney events. The reason I'm going with this is because we have proven that there is demand for Disney NFTs. Secondly, we had a successful first launch and there's opportunity to build on that launch and improve on that launch as well and offer more value to customers, offer them a better experience. So let's take something we know has worked well before and make appropriate enhancements to it. Can you talk about some risks in this area? So one of the risks I see is that just because the last collection went well doesn't mean this one will. Mid to late 2021 was the hype of NFTs. There was a lot of buzz around them. So we're kind of past that buzz now, and it'll be interesting to see if we see the same success with this. But I think in order to de-risk that a little bit, we're adding utility. So customers have more of a reason to buy this because they are getting something out of it rather than just a collectible digital art. And the other risk is we may not tap into a new market. We may find that only a very small segment of Disney's customer base, being the ones who have already purchased those NFTs, they are the ones who want to continue to purchase them. So because this is a new space, I think we need to be ready for different types of risks to pop up, and we might not have a way to mitigate all of them, but maybe recognizing that this is a risk we're willing to take because it is a new innovative area and we're willing to take that risk in order to innovate. That was great. Thank you so much. Great. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed that. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching if you got this far. I really enjoyed making that. I actually did an interview just like this with this particular question not too long ago, and I was successful in that interview. Hence why I wanted to make this, because it's been proven that my thought process and my thinking and the way I articulated and structured my response was good. And so I really hope you guys can learn from this. If you want me to do more interviews like this with myself, I would love to. So let me know if you would like that. Please share this video with anyone who is going through an interview for a product management role. I think the strategy questions are more common once you've had a little bit of product experience. But nonetheless, this is super valuable, and I hope this shows you that you can prepare as much as possible for a product interview by understanding the day in the life of a PM and agile and the product development lifecycle, but practice mock interviews is the best way to actually apply your understanding. So anyway, that is it for this video. I will see you in my next one. Bye.